Don't run away, my little baby. Don't run away from your mama. Don't run away, my little baby. Don't run away from your mama. Walter, come here. Come on. What about if I show you this? What's this? Come on. Good boy. Yeah. Ah! High five. Yes. Well done. No. Shh. Stay here, buddy. Here we go. Love you so much. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a special video and a highly requested video to do a video about Walter. Hi buddy. Now he has been trying to escape from here, but he is obviously, as you can see, he's kind of falling asleep. So hopefully I can get through this and he will be present the whole time, but he is totally trying to like leave my side. So I've had a lot of requests and I thought I would do a video about how we take care of our English Bulldog, Walter. And just a disclaimer, I am in no way an expert. These tips are solely based on our experience with Walter. We've had no other dog. I grew up with a German Shepherd, never an English Bulldog. Walter was my first dog. This is our experiences and these are the things that we do to maintain a happy and healthy dog. So tip number one is get pet insurance. A lot of people think that this is a ridiculous expense. Listen, not if you have an English Bulldog. Our recommendation is get pet insurance when you know that you are going to be getting, especially a puppy. It's not super expensive. In the grand scheme of things, it will save you money in the end. It did for us. Now, we got pet insurance with the idea that after a year, if we never used it, that we would cancel it. In the first year, we used it all. Walter's had multiple stomach bacterial infections, 2 cherry eye surgeries, bronchitis, luxating patella, along with any other injuries, and the insurance came through and they have covered 80% of anything that he has needed. Walter, no. Stay here, buddy. Just shh. Tip number 2 is if you're gonna get an English Bulldog, you have to be a cuddler. I mean, look at this. This is a normal day. I mean, he is so loving. He has to be touching you at all times. Now, I know I'm pulling him onto me, but most of the time he jumps up on the couch, usually when I'm working on my computer, and lies across me on top of the computer everywhere. He is such a cuddler and he is very affectionate, especially with me. We have a special bond. I pretty much raised him when we got him. Andrew worked and I was at home. And so him and I are we love each other so much. Number 3, it's totally true when you hear that English Bulldogs are the laziest dogs. Super lazy. I mean, look at this. Lazy. And Walter, about 20 hours of the day, probably he is sleeping. And like, you can tire him. If he's fighting against you, like to get off this couch, he'll eventually give up and just end up falling asleep because, you know, that's what happens. But there's about 4 hours in the day that nobody really talks about when they, or at least Walter, are crazy. Walter will get 4 hours of just spurts of energy. He's running all over the backyard, up and down the stairs, all around the house, chasing the other dog. It is crazy. Like, he goes insane. It's unbelievable. I've never seen a dog do this, especially for how tired and lazy he is. He is so energetic. It's a little bit of a misconception that they're always lazy and sleepy. It's mostly true, but they have a lot of energy. Number 4, another truth about an English Bulldog that you need to get used to is the snoring and the amount of gas that they pass. That sounds pretty raunchy, but It is very true. Walter snores so loud. Like right now, I think because of the position that he's in, he's not snoring, but he usually, you can hear him from upstairs if you're downstairs. Like, it is so loud, especially if he's like completely on his back.
It's a shop holiday event. This year, 4 of your favorite cooking channel chefs.
But they snore so loud. So if you're thinking about having your dog sleep with you, it's something that you need to get used to. I got used to it right away, and now when we're away and he's not with us, I have a really hard time going to sleep without hearing his snoring because it soothes me. The passing the gas thing, we actually kind of have figured out for us, when he passes a lot of gas, it's usually a sign that he's been overfed. And when he's not overfed, he actually doesn't pass a lot of gas. But when he does, it's bad. It's quite embarrassing. This has happened multiple times, having people over for dinner or to hang out, and Walter walks past them, and of course, his are not silent. They're quite loud. Sometimes, like, he will wake himself up because they're so loud. It is hilarious. But it just makes him all the more endearing. It sounds so gross, but I'm so used to the smell now. It's just like, whatever. But it's bad in car rides. That I will say. Tip number 5 is to watch their weight and their food. Walter has lost 20 pounds since we moved to Canada. So part of the issue that we noticed when we left Kansas City is that he had what was called a luxating patella, which is very common in English Bulldogs, and it's where the part of their knee is not staying in place. And so right when we moved, we brought him to the vet, and they said that it was like level 5 or level 4 out of 5, which meant you are highly recommended to get surgery. If you don't get surgery, their lifespan could be or their knee could deteriorate at the end of their life, and it just wouldn't be good. So anyways, on a follow-up visit to our regular vet after seeing the specialist about his surgery, they just said, well, in preparation for the surgery, he should lose some weight. We really took that into consideration, and we really restricted his food. He's not underfed, he's healthy. And so he lost 20 pounds, and actually the crazy thing is he doesn't even have a luxating patella anymore. We've seen 2 vets, and his kneecap is staying completely in place, which means we saved $5,000. Walter is healthier and better than ever. When he first was weighed, he was about 74 pounds, and now he weighs 54 pounds. So he's still a heavy dog, but nowhere near what he was before. Number 6, clean their ears and wrinkles. Walter has this flap, it's kind of dirty right now, under his nose right here, that we have to clean out every day because it gets filled with dirt and bacteria can grow. They can get a hot spot. He has never had one in there, but we have to clean that every day, and we clean his ears every other day. He hates it. It's horrible. I hate doing it because we have to chase him and we have to hold him down. Number 7, keep out of heat. Now, as much as Walter loves to play, it's hard in the summer. Bulldogs tend to have a really small sinus cavity. Walter tends to actually have a larger one for being an English Bulldog, but lots of English Bulldogs have a hard time breathing. And in the heat, because they're so heavy and dense, they have a hard time cooling themselves off because their nose is it's so hard for them to breathe. So in the summer, he doesn't stay outside for very long. Most dogs don't, but even our German Shepherd Portia likes to lie out in the shade. For Walter, sometimes with the heat and the humidity, it's just too much for him, and so he has to come inside. So that's something that you have to be very mindful. English Bulldogs can overheat very fast, and so you have to keep them in a cool environment for most of the day. Tip number 8 is about toys. There has not yet been a toy that Walter has not destroyed. Walter literally bites through any toy within 5 minutes of getting it. Kongs, everything. We have looked on everywhere for like indestructible toys. They do not withstand Walter's teeth. And I think this is a common thing with a Bulldog, is they just lock their jaw onto that toy, and they have one mission, and it's to destroy it, and they do. I can never get him them because I'm paying $20 for a little ball that he's gonna have for 5 minutes. It's not worth it at all. So if anybody has any suggestions for Bulldog worthy toys, please let us know. Toys are so important for an English Bulldog. They need that stimulation, but you need to find something that can withstand the jaws of these dogs because they are one tough cookie. 9, find a good trainer and dog boarder. We have phenomenal trainers that also board, and so when we go away, we actually send our dog to them and they train him while he's in dog boarding, because we did do doggy daycare. But one thing that we learned very fast is that it only takes one incident to create a habit in a dog. Walter is a very obedient and very smart dog. He just picked up a few bad habits from doggy daycare, so when we moved to Canada, we wanted to get those in line right away. So we found amazing trainers. Getting a trainer is very important. It's much better for you and for the dog, because what they always said is dogs want to make the right choice. They just need to understand what the wrong choice is. And so with that, Walter's been so amazing. I mean, he's still a puppy. He just turned 2. The training is more about you and how you interact with the dog. A lot of issues that we were having with Walter wasn't even with Walter. It was the way that we were reacting and we were responding to situations. And so they were really able to walk alongside of us and teach us, you know, how to work with those. And what's even more awesome is they're actually teaching Walter how to skateboard. So I'm really excited about that because I think that'll be so much fun. And the last tip that I have for you is these dogs, they're smarter than they look. These dogs know how to play dumb. Walter is the smartest dog I have ever met, but he needs stimulation. Sometimes they're written off as kind of dumb. All they do is sleep and eat, but no, they're very smart, highly intelligent, very food motivated, but they just need stimulation, and that's why obedience is so important, because they want to do what's good. These dogs love and crave attention. The worst thing, and it's also the best discipline, is almost like ignoring him when he does something wrong, because he hates that. And he's very much so affectionate, but there's also when he doesn't want to do what you're saying, he will not. I mean, he will, but you can tell there's a lot of willpower in this dog. I love that these dogs are so cuddly and that they want to be with you. They're such a great dog. Phenomenal with kids. My parents are foster parents, and Walter loves kids. And one day I caught one of the girls like pulling his tail and pulling his ears and jumping on him and just cuddling him, and he just lied there, which is so amazing. I love to see, because obviously I think of having kids in the future and what will Walter be like with them. Obviously he's my first baby. But anyways, those are my tips on how to care for an English Bulldog. Again, it's all very personalized to my experience with Walter, but a lot of these tips we've read and have helped us. Also, we watched a lot of Caesar Milan. I hope that you like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below, and I will see you again for another video. Bye. Hey, Walter. Whoa. Rocking that American Apparel look. Yeah, you're such a gangster. Or should I say you're such a hipster? Oh, mannequin challenge. Okay, Walter. Walter, stand. Yeah. Hey, buddy. Walter. There you go. Whoa. You are so cool. Are you really mad at us? Walter. Walter. Look at me. Oops. Whoa. Walter. Walter. Look at that. Oh, he's like so mellow.